talking about Providence's Best Bloody Mary competition to raise awareness for the New England Hemophilia Association. We're going to tack to politics. It's been a little political afternoon. We just reported the fundraising totals for Governor Gina Raimondo, $1.3 million for quarter one of 2018. Senator Leah Raptakis, thank you for coming back in. That's a big chunk of change.
That's a lot of money. A lot of friends.
A lot of friends all around.
In-state, out-of-state.
You can read all about it on GoLocalProv.com. But right now we're going to talk about a local issue in Coventry, and this pertains to the Harris Mill Lofts, and specifically the Town Council. Let's talk a little bit about your interaction, what you've heard from constituents, and what you're seeing done or not being done at the town level.
Nothing's being done on the town level. People at the Harris Mills complex owned by Brady Sullivan have complained for over a year. Health issues, mold, testing has been done. And I've contacted the health department because it's not a public entity. They do not have jurisdiction. But we've got other state agencies and federal agencies we have not gone to. But on a town council level, about 4 weeks ago, this was brought up for an agenda item, placed on the agenda, and all of a sudden, I could not attend that meeting, was removed. I've been back to the town council twice, last Monday and 2 weeks ago, asking them to place this on the agenda. Council president's remark at the last town council meeting, oh, nothing's wrong in this situation, nothing's wrong. So I sent the letter to the council president on Friday and to all the members of the town council, the current acting town manager, because as you know on another topic, the town manager has left the community. The town fiscal director, financial director has left the community. And also I sent a letter to the building inspector. How do you allow a CO, certificate of occupancy, CO, to be placed on this facility if there's been problems? And my other issue with this facility is we passed the General Assembly tax credits, allowing these old mills to use tax credits to rehab them and rent them as condos or whatever the case might be, apartments. So something is wrong with this picture, so I think it's time to investigate from A to Z what is going on with Harris Mills. And Brady Sullivan has a past history of doing the same up in New Hampshire. They were sued. I guess they had an out-of-court settlement. The residents won. And this is just something continuously that hasn't occurred for the first time. He's got a past history, a bad history, so we're going to correct it. We're going to find out what's going on.
And what are you hearing from constituents?
Everything. We've got constituents that have health issues. One gentleman who was at the council meeting, the one I couldn't attend to, was saying that he's got 2 years to live from the mold and the pigeon feces or whatever. The health hazards have occurred. This is very disturbing and depressing to hear that from one individual, but the residents are not getting any type of help from town officials. So I stepped into the picture because it is not only my district, but I'm very concerned. And I tell people, if there's a problem, if it's a local issue, do not feel afraid to contact us on the statewide level, because that's what we're here for.
And let's talk a little bit, what is going on at the town council with the departure? We reported on the departure of the manager. I mean, why take it off the agenda? Why the reticence, in your opinion?
There was no need to take it off the agenda. The town solicitor claimed, in quotes, you can look at the minutes, that it was very vague. Well, wait a minute. You put it on the agenda. How can it be vague? You weren't prepared? So there was some type of, I believe, from the other side, the opposition, saying they didn't want this to be placed in the public arena where the public can go testify and have a debate, a dialogue between the elected officials of the town council. 2 members of the town council, Deb Bacon and Karen Carlson, do want to put it on the agenda, but the other 3 do not want to put it on the agenda. So it's almost like a split. But we've stepped in, my office has stepped in, and we are not going to stop until I see that item being placed back on the agenda for public comment and a dialogue between the town council and the town officials that are responsible for allowing this building to be occupied.
Let's talk a little bit, you mentioned the tax credits, and want to bring up something GoLocal has reported on and talked about before. At the commerce level, when developer Lance Robbins had some issues with Hope Artiste Village, they put together a legal oversight team. Now that's on the commerce side of things. the state historic tax credits exist outside of that structure. Does there need to be a developed oversight structure for historic tax credits to say who are we giving money to and what the result is?
If it's being abused, like in this case, yes, absolutely. If we're giving these historic tax credits to developers to go into these buildings, rehab them, and not do the right job, where they put the health of jeopardy of the renters and the residents, I see something wrong.
And so let's talk before we go to a next issue, but what's the best case scenario? You want to get to the bottom of this. There are clearly residents who have opted to try and take legal action pertaining to what they say are adverse health effects. What's the best case outcome?
Well, best case is to resolve this. Correct the deficiencies, correct if there's been some structural work that wasn't done properly, either covering up some mold or mildew or whatever the case might be, doing a sloppy job, number one, to rehab these mills. Correction action, and then look at the health of the residents. And one more point. It disturbs me a lot that some of the residents cannot live there. They've moved out, but they get being charged for the rent until the owner re-rents the building. I think that's wrong. I'm not sure if there's a violation of a state law. We're going to look into that. And also, I think their deposit should be returned also.
So you're looking for some financial recourse
Absolutely.
for the residents as well. And the health arena as well?
Absolutely. That's something we're going to look at. Even ask EPA to look into this issue.
So what's next? You talk about looking for trying to get to the bottom of it, but from literally a time frame standpoint, meetings, action.
Again, we're going to do it as quickly as we can. Quickly as we can. I was approached by the residents about 45 days ago. It's been an ongoing issue. They've had no answers from the town. They've exchanged emails for over almost a year, and nothing has been done. The town has cited some instances, but they've taken no action whatsoever.
Well, I have you in here. What's in the water in Coventry? Let's talk about the sewer issue and the Auditor General taking a look.
We talked about this at the last airing of GoLocal Prop, and it was just the genesis, just the beginning back in January. A lot's happening. Town manager left 2 weeks ago. Town fiscal director left, all because of the sewer issue. The General Assembly delegation got the Auditor General to come in and investigate. We feel that there's a lot of issues involved. You can't charge residents $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 just to tie into a sewer. Are the sewers needed? What happened? Cost overruns, abatements, and Brady Sullivan comes into this picture again because his project was supposed to be about $1 million sewer assessment. His mill complex, Harris Mill and Anthony, only got charged $80,000. So you're negative $920,000 deficit, which the other ratepayers have to pay with high rates. I mean, you're talking at $3,000, $3,900 to tie in up in Lincoln, $35,000 in Coventry. It's unacceptable. Something is wrong with the whole Coventry sewer program. We've got the Auditor General coming in. The sewer chairman has been fined, has been charged by the Ethics Commission 12 counts. One of the councilmen on the council was charged and had to pay a $1,500 fine, ethics violation. So there's a lot going on, and that's why we're happy to see the Auditor General come in. The town went and spent $37,000 on a private, not an audit, but investigation, which they haven't even completed. Why spend taxpayers? Again, $37,000. Well, you had the Auditor General. We've written, we told the council, they don't listen. Again, the 3 members of the council, not the 2 ladies, Deb Bacon and Karen Council, have been with us with the General Assembly delegation to get answers.
Do the taxpayers have to sign off on that $37,000 investigation?
Well, town council voted 3-2 or 3-0 to spend the $37,000 to let a private auditing company to do some work. It wasn't even an audit. Even in their statement, they said it's not an audit. Why spend the money where the Auditor General is going to start from the day of the sewer inception, the sewer program, till now, and investigate everything. And if there's any kind of malfeasance, it goes to the Attorney General. Attorney General comes in, and then maybe the state police.
Let's talk a little bit, because I've been following the situation, about conflicts of interest. And one of the things that GoLocal and investigating Brady Sullivan, in an effort to get the town manager's ethics form, could not get it for D's from the State Ethics Commission, which has led to legislation being introduced that all ethics filings need to be posted online. Sure. The ethics filing did not exist. The town manager filed it after it being brought to the attention, and the Ethics Commission was not able to say for days definitively whether or not that was there. I know there's some conflicts involved with the sewers.
Well, I think, again, that shows the point that I think we really have to have transparency. Huge transparency on this whole issue to protect the ratepayers of Coventry, anybody that's going to be tied in the future, or should the program end. I mean, look, I think there's a lot of issues here, but I'm glad the Auditor General stepped in. He saw the evidence, and we hope that at the outcome there's going to be, I personally think there's been problems, a lot of problems with this sewer program. Running efficiently, the players that were involved probably are responsible, those that were on the sewer board in the past, future leaders in the town right now that don't want to step forward, step up to the plate and investigate this whole process.
So what do we see? I mean, does it literally need to be scrapped and started from scratch? How do you get to the point that it gets fixed that Coventry residents aren't paying this amount of money?
Well, we had the same issue with the Central Coventry Fire Department, and that got fixed. It took a year and a half, it got fixed. We're hoping that the same thing happens with this problem of the Coventry sewer program. It's a big problem. It's about a $30 million problem. But evidently, if the Auditor General comes in, investigates, makes the recommendations, and we look at making a decision, the town council has to make a decision, and the sewer subcommittee has to make a decision. They got a bad track record where I believe it was 2 members resigned because of their interaction with the public, some very nasty things that were done on Facebook, as you know, and some violations, ethics violations. So it's not a pretty picture, but again, it can be fixed.
Well, I appreciate you giving viewers a little overview of that issue as well, in addition to Brady Sullivan. Looking at the final home stretch up at the State House.
It's coming. It's now, things are going to stop moving. You're into May and June, and this is it. And I've argued against this. Bills should be passed at the beginning of the year, out of committee. Like we said, if they're introduced in committee, they're heard in committee, there should only be a 30-day window of opportunity. If after 30 days they die, you'll see how many rank and file members go to the leadership and say, I want my bill passed right now and into law. We won't have this jam, I say, at the end of the session where bills are flying left and right. Totally opposed to that. So hopefully, one of these days we can change the system.
So what's in your list for things you're looking to accomplish before the end of the session?
Well, again, a lot of these issues become local now.
Yeah.
And Tip O'Neill used to say politics is local. And I'm glad I'm here to help the residents that are involved with this Coventry sewer program, the Brady Mills issue, and some other small issues, but basically one pet peeve of mine is trying to protect children that are left abandoned, left in cars unattended. We protect animals. We go crazy to protect animals. It's a good thing. We shouldn't leave an animal in a vehicle, an overheated vehicle, or even in a cold vehicle, especially winter times. Why aren't we protecting children? So I'm hoping by the end of this session that bill goes to the governor's desk for her support to sort of penalize. And we've reduced the penalties. First offense will not be a misdemeanor. It'll only be a $150 fine. We're allowing police and fire and first responders to make that determination if the child was in jeopardy. So we're working very hard, try to craft a bill that's going to make sense, and hopefully it's going to pass this year.
And speaking of things we're keeping an eye on, if it happens, it now resides in the House, the Paw Sox. I've had conversations with the Speaker that he is in conversations with the ownership of the Pawtucket Red Sox. Here we are, May 1st is tomorrow. There's talk that there could be some amended language to what had passed the Senate.
Still opposed to it. I think that taxpayers should not be getting involved in an entity, in a major corporation of the Boston Red Sox that can foot the bill with no questions asked. No questions asked. We're talking about one player's salary, maybe half a player's salary to fund the Paw Sox. Please, come on. Get this corporate welfare out.
And even if they come back and say, well, we've protected the taxpayer, here's all the protections in place, if it comes back to the Senate, you're still going to say?
Absolutely no. Let them pay out of their own pockets. It's an easy answer. You want to support this team, you want to build a brand new stadium, you build it. You pay for it, you own it.
Okay. Senator Raptakis, I appreciate your taking the time to come into the studio here today. We'll be up at the State House on Thursday, but don't go anywhere because at 4 o'clock, it's Business Monday with CEO Josh Fenton. Thanks, Senator.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Pleasure being here.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.